بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين with hadith number 33 in our dars on the 40 Nawawi Hadeeth. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لو يعطى الناس بدعواهم لادعى رجال أموال قوم ودماءهم لكن البينة على المدعي واليمين على من أنكر. On the authority of Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, he said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, if people were to be given everything that they claimed, men would claim the wealth and the lives of others. But the burden of proof is upon the claimant, the plaintiff here. And the oath is upon the defendant, the one who denies. This hadith is asl fi al-qadaya, in the court cases, البينة على المدعي واليمين على من أنكره. And it's a big fiqhi rule as well. البينة, the proof. If you go to the court, if you claim something, you have to have what? Proof. Right? If you go to the court and say, the car that Brother Walid drives is my car, the judge will say, what? Where is your proof? So you start with the proof. The Prophet ﷺ said, البينة على المدعي. Okay, the plaintiff, the one who claims, will have to bring forth what? البينة. واليمين على من أنكره. واليمين, taking the oath, is upon the defendant, the one who says, no, what he's saying is not true. So we're going to go over some examples, inshallah ta'ala. If, for example, someone goes to the court and he says to the judge, this piece of land belongs to me, or this car that someone drives belongs to me. The judge will say, what? Where's your proof? If he has a proof, okay, now they will call what? The defendant, and they will talk about it. But if he has no proof, then the defendant will have to take an oath. يعني يحلف بالله, يقول والله, oh Allah, I swear to Allah that he is a liar, that this car belongs to me, not him, or this piece of land belongs to me, not him. Right? So, al-bayyina, or the proof, in the past, almost always was witnesses. How many? There is one case where the witnesses should be 4. Some cases, the majority of the cases, the witnesses should be 2. And some cases, the witnesses can be just 1. We're going to go over that inshallah ta'ala. The only case that requires, or the only scenario, or the only situation that requires 4 witnesses is a zina, right? If a husband or someone goes to the court and he says this lady committed zina, adultery, fornication, then the judge will say we'll have to bring how many witnesses? 4 witnesses. Not 1, not 2, not 3. 4 witnesses. And these 4 witnesses, actually, they have to meet 7 requirements, not only 1. Now, they have to be 4, that's requirement number 1. They have to be men, not women. They have to be adults, not kids. They have to be udul. What is udul? Like pious people. People that are known in the community to be good people. They have to be Muslims. Okay? And then they have to have seen the act of zina as when you see a rope going into a well of water. You see that? So they have to witness, they have to testify to the judge that they have seen the private part of the man going into and inside the private part of the woman, which is nearly impossible to happen. Which is nearly what? Impossible to happen. In that case, if someone goes to the court and he says, this lady has committed fornication. Now we're talking about someone accusing another lady, another Muslim lady, okay, some Muslim lady, but he's not her husband. The judge will say, what are your 4 witnesses? He will say, I have no witnesses. What should the judge do? How many times? 80 times. 80 times. Allah Azza wa Jalla يقول والذين يرمون المحصنات ثم لم يأتوا بأربعة شهداء فاجلدوهم 80 جلد. And those who accuse chaste Muslim women and they don't bring 4 witnesses, flog them 80 lashes. Is that the only punishment? No. ولا تقبلوا لهم شهادة أبدا. And never accept their testimony ever again. Ever. In no case their testimonies will be accepted. Okay. What if the man, the person going to the court, is the husband? And he says, well, I accuse my wife of committing fornication. The judge will say, what are your 4 witnesses? Say, I have no 4 witnesses. Then in that case, only for the husband, there is another option, which is what? Al-mula'ana. Jazakallah khair. What is al-mula'ana? To swear to take an oath by Allah 5 times. 4 times he will say, Allah Azza wa Jalla يقول في كتابه والذين يرمون أزواجهم ولم يكن لهم شهداء إلا أنفسهم فشهادة أحدهم 4 شهادات بالله إنه لمن الصادقين. He will say 4 times, I swear to Allah that what I'm saying is true. And then the 2nd time, and then the 3rd, and then the 4th, and then the judge will stop him and he says, you're going to take the last time. But you have to know that if you're lying, Allah will curse you. لعنة الله. والخامسة أن لعنة الله عليه إن كان من الكاذبين. So if he did it 5 times, now the judge will look at the lady and he said, now, what do you say? Did you do it or not? If she says, no, I didn't do it, then she will have to what? To swear back 5 times. The first time she would say, والله إنه لكاذب. Allah عز وجل يقول ويدرأ عنها العذاب أن تشهد 4 شهادات بالله إنه لمن الكاذبين والخامسة أن غضب الله عليها إن كان من الصادقين. She would say, I swear to Allah that he's a liar. I swear to Allah that he's a liar. And then 4 times, and then the 5th, the judge will remind her, if you're lying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be angry at you. If she did it 5 times, then the judge will do what? Will separate them forever. They will be separated forever. He, the man, cannot marry her ever again. Right? Right. So that's, but the man will not be lashed. He will not be beaten up by the judge. Right. What if a lady goes to the court and she says, my husband divorced me. Now she's what? She's the plaintiff. The judge will say, okay, bring your husband. The husband comes, did you divorce her? Say, no, I did not. In that case, the judge will say, where's your proof? Because the Prophet says, البينة على المدعي. If you are the plaintiff, you have to bring your proof. The burden of the proof is upon you. And if she says, I have no proof, it was verbal, he said it verbally, and I have no proof. And then the judge will say to the husband, did you divorce her? If he says no, now can you swear, can you take an oath? If he says yes, wallahi, I did not divorce her. In that case, the judge will judge in his favor, meaning that the divorce did not happen because she doesn't have proof. Okay. Al-iqrad, giving someone money. If, for example, someone comes and says, okay, let me give you a real scenario, because this happens a lot. Someone passes away, right? So someone else would come to the children of the deceased and he will say to them, your father borrowed money from me before he passed away. Now they will take him to the court. They will say to him, no, our father never told us that he ever took money from you. They go to the court. The judge will say to the man, to the plaintiff, do you have evidence? Do you have proof? If he brings a proof, now that's the end of the case. If he doesn't bring the proof, now the children of the deceased will take an oath. They say, Wallahi, our parents, our father, not parents, parents, our father did not tell us that he took any money from this guy, right? And that's the end of it. Some people do qiyas, you know, on Mawlid al-Nabi. They say Mawlid al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to celebrate the birth of the Prophet. We can treat it as a court case. If someone comes and say we have to celebrate the birth of the Prophet, we'll say, okay, where's your evidence? Where's your proof, right? Because you act like a plaintiff in a court. You claim that we should do something. And the Prophet says what? If you claim something, you have to have what? Proof, right? The burden of the proof is upon you. Then if he says, I don't have proof, there's nothing in the Quran or in the Sunnah that talks about the birth, celebrating the birth of the Prophet ﷺ, then we just disregard him, right? Okay. البخاري ومسلم, they reported a hadith عن الأشعث بن قيس, a Sahabi by the name الأشعث بن قيس. He came to the Prophet ﷺ and he says, يا رسول الله كان بيني وبين رجل خصومة في بئر. He dug a well and someone came and he said, it is mine. And he said, no, it is mine. So they went to the Prophet ﷺ. So the Prophet said to the plaintiff, شاهداك أو اليمين. شاهداك أو يمينه. You have to have two witnesses. So one witness is not enough in al-hudud. What is al-hudud? The prescribed punishments, like sariqa if someone steals, and other hudud, like these claims. You have to have two witnesses, not just one. But in ibadat, one witness is enough. Like what? Like the beginning of Ramadan. If someone comes and says, I have seen the moon of Ramadan, that's one person. We accept his testimony because it is ibadah وليس حدا. طيب, a few more questions and then we'll be done, inshallah ta'ala. Can we accept the testimony of children? The answer is no. The answer is no. And some ulama say it depends on the case. In some cases, the judge can take into consideration the testimonies of the children if it is some civil cases, you know. But in al-qisas wal-hudud, we don't accept the testimonies of the children. So how old should the witness be? 21, 18, or? Baligh, yes, baligh. Okay? He has to be baligh, about 15 years of age, but not younger than that. Okay. هل تصح شهادة الوالد لولده أو الولد لوالده أو الزوج لزوجته? What if someone goes to the court and he says, this piece of land belongs to me, or this thing belongs to me, and then the judge will say, okay, you have to have two witnesses. So he brings two of his children. Will their testimonies be accepted? The testimony of the children, or the testimony of the parents. He will bring his father and mother to testify for him. You know, there is some differences in scholarly opinion when it comes to this. A lot of scholars say it depends on the case, you know? It depends on the case. But for a lot of cases, it is not accepted. If you go to the court and your witnesses are your children, the judge is not going to take that into consideration. Why? Because they are your kids, right? At home, you can prompt them what to say. Hey, I'll take you to the court and this is what you say, you know? Okay, how about شهادة الزوج لزوجته أو الزوجة لزوجها? What if the wife, you know, testifies for, not against? We're talking about for, not against, because against is taking, but for. The same applies, which is the majority of scholars say it depends. I'm not going to say the majority of scholars say it's not accepted, but they say it depends on the case. So the judge is the one who decides if he would accept the testimony of the husband, the wife, the parents, and the children or not. There is a hadith that the Prophet ﷺ, or in which the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تقبل شهادة الولد لوالده ولا الوالد لولده ولا المرأة لزوجها ولا الزوج لامرأته ولا العبد لسيده ولا المولى لعبده ولا الأجير لمن استأجره. The Prophet ﷺ said, the testimony of a child for his father is not accepted, nor the testimony of a father for his child, nor the testimony of a woman for her husband, nor the testimony of a husband for his wife, nor the testimony of a slave for his master, nor the testimony of a patron for his client, you know? Al-ajiru liman ista'jarahu, like the landlord and the one who's renting something from him, for example. Nor the testimony of a hired worker for the one who hired him. But this hadith, if this hadith was authentic, that's the end of it. But this hadith is not authentic, it's da'if. And when we say hadith da'if, some ulama, some scholars, they accept it, okay, and they rule according to it, and some ulama say, no, we don't do that, so it depends. هذا والله تعالى أعلم. إن شاء الله, any questions?